What is up, everybody? Back with some more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Regulation F VGC Wi-Fi battles. Got a really cool session around a team that I actually built. I built this team around EXCADRILL and Sand, and I think it turned out pretty well. So we're gonna discuss this team. I'm gonna break this team down for you guys, and we're gonna hop in some games. Before I get into this, rental code up in the corner if you guys want to try this team out. And I also have a PokePace down below if you guys want to test this team on Showdown, or if you guys want to use this team to ladder on Showdown for the Regulation F ladder before it goes live in about a week and a half. I don't know when you guys are going to be seeing this video. Either you guys are going to be seeing this video out tomorrow or probably either on Sunday or Monday. So, but it's actually a team I made around EXCADRILL. EXCADRILL actually came back with the DLC being announced. It is probably the best sand sweeper that we got that's returned to the game. And I think single-handedly, I think EXCADRILL, alongside like a Tyranitar, or even like there's a few other sand setters I don't think are as good, but alongside some sand setters can actually bring the weather back to prominence. And I think sand is a lot better than it was. The only problem is right now, like rain is really common. I think you're seeing a little bit more of a rise in sun with a lot of the other like new Paradox mons being introduced, like Raging Bolt and Gouging Fire, and there's a few other cool things that rain kind of got with Argalodon and a few other things. But I'm going to quickly go through this team. If you guys like these videos, leave a like, subscribe. A lot of you guys are not subscribed for whatever reason. So if you are not subscribed, it's really easy. It only takes like 1 second. Down below, there's a subscribe button. Click the button. It really helps out the channel. And you guys are doing yourself a disservice by missing a bunch of videos if you're not subscribed. So apart from that, I'm going to go through this team real quick for you guys, and then I'll throw a timestamp on screen for you guys right now if you just want to skip to the battles, because I do want to break this team down kind of thoroughly, because this is another team that I didn't create. So I built this team around EXCADRILL. I got Sand on this team. The main pairing for this team that you're going to be bringing to most of your games is the Tyranitar EXCADRILL. I got the Smooth Rock because I think the 8 turns of Sand is really crucial for this team, and this team really relies on the Sand. Even like the chip damage from the sand kind of helps whittle things down, especially on like the enemy team that's gives you like a lot of chip damage. It kind of counteracts leftovers, it counteracts some other healing, and overall the chip damage is pretty good because a few things on this team are a little bit more passive and more supportive that don't really do crazy amounts of damage. So the chip damage from the sand kind of does help. So I threw the Smooth Rock on the Tyranitar because I think overall, at least testing that, I think with the Smooth Rock this team played a lot better, because playing it before when this team did not have Smooth Rock, Tyranitar was running like I think Weakness Policy, and I was running like Leftovers, I think Tyranitar as well at one point in testing, and the sand turns just weren't enough, and I kept running out of sand to the point where the EXCADRILL kind of just was kind of useless a lot of the time because my opponent was able to easily outstall the sand turns. So we got the Tyranitar. It's Terra Flying, Smooth Rock with the Sand Stream. You got the Rock Slide. I'm just running max attack, max HP on this thing. Even not running like any defense or SPDF investment. With the max HP, it has really good solid bulk to begin with, and its stats for both of its defenses are really good. So you're going to be eating a lot of like neutral hits and even some super effective hits, and being able to like hit back 2 times as hard for most things. So main thing you're going to be doing with this thing, I think this is like the main Terra mon you're going to be having on this team. The other 2 mons that you're going to really want to be going Terra most of the time are either the EXCADRILL or the Ogerpon. But I think the most common one that you're going to be using a Terra for is going to be the Tyranitar, because it pairs really well alongside the EXCADRILL with the Terra Flying. And the Terra Flying also knocks back a lot of the grass types, which this team can kind of struggle with, because the only other thing you have for grass types is the Moltres. But with the Terra Flying Terra Blast, you can knock back like stuff like Rillaboom, water type Ogerpon, that type of thing. So they got the EXCADRILL with the Life Orb, Sand Rush. In the sand, you're pretty much outspeed everything. I think the only thing you possibly don't outspeed in sand is like Booster. Some variants of like Max Speed, Timid, Booster, Fluttermane, and like Iron Bundle, I think, is you don't outspeed. There's a few other things. I think Dragapult like Max Speed. If it's like full like Timid or like Jolly Max Speed, I think you might not outspeed it under sand. But apart from that, you pretty much outspeed everything, even like a lot of Scarfers under sand. You got the double ground stab just mainly for in case you have a situation where you're not able to spam Earthquake. It's not going to be very common, but there's sometimes where you're going to want to run Stomping Tantrum and use that over Earthquake so you don't take damage. Mainly when you're alongside the Ogerpon or the Tyranitar and you don't want a Terra, or you already used your Terra. That's kind of the main thing. I got the Earthquake on there. This is the most spammable move you're going to be running, and then the Iron Head just for Steel Stab. It's good versus Fairies, good versus Flutter Mane, a bunch of other stuff that gets hit for super effective for really solid damage right now. So, and then the Protect on it is 252 Adamant, kind of a standard build. I got the Flygon on this team. If I'm going to be real with you guys, if I really wanted this team to be better, I would have actually swapped out the Flygon for a Latios or a Latios. I think that would be a lot better because both of those mons kind of do the same job as Flygon and they have way better stats. But I figured I might as well just throw Flygon on this team because I haven't used Flygon and it was an excuse to use Flygon. Flygon's one of the only like ground types that does not take any chip damage from sand. You can run Focus Sash and it will not break your Sash. You also have the Levitate. It has a really solid move pool. I went with a special move pool for this with the Terra Steel. Just 252 speed, 252 special attack, timid. Mainly just what you're going to be doing with the Flygon is just trying to spam Tailwind whenever you can and just going for damage. The Scorching Sands has a 30% chance to burn, so if you can get a burn with it, that's huge utility. Otherwise, you're just going to be spamming damage for like your late game cleanup sweepers, which is usually the Ogerpon or like a combo with a Tyranitar and something else on this team, so kind of what it really is. It's also a really solid lead. The Focus Sash, as long as you just keep spamming damage without your Focus Sash being broken, you get a lot of value. I think the only thing that's really holding the Flygon back, is you guys gotta bear with it, is its stats aren't really that good. It has base 100s for its attack and speed stats, but base 80s for its defense are not that good, and its HP is not much better, so even with like a Terra Steel, if it's like a really heavy hitting like Fairy type, you're going against like a Specs Flutter Mane, you're still getting like two-shotted by it, so you gotta keep that in mind. Got the Ogerpon on this team with the sand being up. You also get the defense boost if you Terra, plus you get a special defense boost in the sand, so you become pretty bulky and you also hit very hard. I'm just running 252 attack and speed on this thing with Jolly. I got the Taunt on there mainly for stuff like Trick Room and stuff that kind of wants to sit up on you. You have a fast Taunt user on this team, which I kind of found in testing was pretty good to have on the Ogerpon. The only thing I would maybe switch that out for would maybe like Swords Dance or something like that, or maybe it's like Knockoff or like other coverage move, but kept that on there. And I also have the Horn Leech. Just, you're going to be pretty bulky, so getting a lot of HP back with the Horn Leech, I think it made a lot more sense with this Ogerpon build over like Woodhammer. And a lot of the stuff Horn Leech hits usually is a 2-hit KO anyways, and Woodhammer usually misses out on a lot of 2-hit KOs or a lot of Okos, apart from like sand damage, so it didn't really matter that much, so I just kind of threw Horn Leech onto this build. And then you got the Rotom on this team, which is Choice Scarf. It's actually max HP, max special attack, but with a Choice Scarf, you're outspeeding a pretty solid amount of things. I'm not sure what the exact like speed stat, like base speed you're outspeeding, but I've outsped, I think you actually outspeed Tornadus if they're not max speed, so you outspeed at least, I think, 105s at the very least with a Choice Scarf. So the main thing that Rotom wants to do is it wants to either spam like really fast discharge, trick turn 1 into like something that can't really use a Choice Scarf, or kind of just cripple something with a Choice Scarf, something that wants to set up Trick Room, or like just a supportive mon that can't really do anything apart from like just being locked into a Choice Scarf and being forced to switch next turn, or that type of thing. Or just with a really fast Will-O-Wisp, like cripple like a really heavy special or a physical attacker. It's kind of what you're going to want to do. And then you got the Hydro Pump there just for like other fire and rock types, and just for coverage, for super effective damage, for kind of the stuff this team kind of struggles with. So overall, really cool team. Just going into this as well, like this is not like a top tier team. If you're going into this using this team expecting to win like every single game, you can if you play it really well. Like I've gotten really good at playing this team. If you can play it really well and you know your matchups and what you're good into and what this team can and cannot do, you can kind of play that way and win a lot of your games. But this team is more of a fun team. It's not really like a crazy, like going to be like high tier viable team, I think, when Regulation F does drop. But if you guys want a really fun sand team, I think this team is really fun. And it has a fucking Flygon on it, so. And then last but not least, we have the Moltres. I just threw this thing on here with the Terra Grass, just mainly with the Flame Body. You have the max HP, max special attack. It's mainly just to stick around and just do as much damage as possible before it dies. I threw agility on there. Maybe you can set up an agility with a +2 agility boost. You outspeed a lot of stuff. But mainly you're just going to want to be spamming Heat Wave and Air Slash. It's your main thing for a lot of like the most common grass types that are being played, and also walls the shit out of Ogerpon, Hearth Flame, and a few other Ogerpon forms. So, and if you Terra Grass, you also wall the shit out of Ogerpon Wellspring, and you're able to hit it with super effective Air Slash, and kind of just roost stall it to that point because it can't really do much to you. So, apart from that, that's the team. Let me know what you guys think. Give me any feedback you guys want to give. Like I said, I had know some of the feedback with this team. Like the Flygon, I could have swapped out for like a Latios or a Latios, and it kind of could have did the same job apart from like the ground type coverage with like a safety goggles or something. But I wanted to use Flygon, and it was like one of my only opportunities. I could probably get an excuse to throw a Flygon onto a team, so I threw it onto this team. Might as well YOLO. So give me some feedback. What do you guys think about the team? If there's anything I could improve in the future with this team or going forward. Top into some games. Alright, we are here with game number 1. This is going to be a really tough match. It's going to be already a really tough game. My opponent has the Dragapult, which outspeeds like my entire team. Everything on my team, I think even the EXCADRILL understand it might outspeed depending on his build. So that's really scary. Frigoraph, Incineroar, which is a problem. I hit it for super effective damage, but with the Intimidate spam, that this team is kind of weak to Intimidate spam, because this team does have a lot of physical attackers on it, so that's kind of a problem. Flutter Mane, and then the Rillaboom and Landorus Eye. So I think what I do here, I don't know if I just want to lead Sand. Usually with this team, you don't really want to lead with the Sand. You usually want to keep the Tyranitar in the back, especially if the enemy team has their own weather, and let them set up the weather first, or kind of that type of thing. And you want to keep the EXCADRILL Tyranitar in the back for more of like a cleanup combo, to kind of clean up the game after the first 2 months, try to do as much damage and put in as much work as possible. Same with like the Ogerpon, you usually want to save that and throw that in the back most of the time. I don't know what I lead with here. I think I'm actually going to lead Sand here, though. I think I'm actually going to lead Sand. One of the only games I think I might actually lead Sand. I'll bring the Ogerpon in the back. And I think I'll actually bring the Moltres here, which does not look too bad. You guys like the videos, leave a like, subscribe, share the video. Keep on bringing you guys, hopefully, daily uploads going forward. I'll see how long I can keep that up for, because man, it's been difficult trying to keep daily uploads for you guys, but I'm still going to try to. So he leads Dragapult, Rillaboom. That ain't too bad for me. We're going to find out if I actually outspeed under Sand. We're going to see what his build actually is. I would not be surprised if he actually Terras. He might Terra, or just like flat up switch out into the Incineroar. If he has Incineroar, it's going to come in right here, and he's going to probably either U-turn or switch out on this turn. I don't think I'm going to Terra on this turn. I'm just going to knock off the Dragapult slot, and then I'm going to protect the EXCADRILL here, expecting a fake out, pretty much. I think that's what I do here. He's taking forever to choose for some reason. I don't know what's taking forever. We predict that right. He actually does go for fake out. That's great. Okay, that's good. Oh, he actually goes for Phantom Force. That's fine. It's fine by me. I just don't get a knockoff on him, though. That's the main thing. But like, I'm assuming he's going to Phantom Force the EXCADRILL. So that's fine. He's also a physical variant, which ain't too bad. I think my only gripe here is I wish I actually led with the Moltres, because Moltres right here is actually really good. So I think what I'm going to do here, I can knock off. I'll knock off on the Dragapult because he's locked in. So a knockoff will hit him for super effective damage, and I think I'm actually going to switch out the EXCADRILL here into the Moltres. I'll keep the EXCADRILL in the back. I don't want it taking that much damage because I think it could be pretty good versus him. Assuming he has Incineroar in the back. And maybe Flutter Mane, and in the Sand, I think I outspeed both of those, and I can do a really good amount of damage. Grassy Glide, that's fine. Hopefully you get burned. Please get burned. Please, he gets burned! Perfect, that's why I have Moltres. That's why Moltres is on this team, mainly for the grass types. Does a lot of damage. Please get burned. That might actually be banded. It does a lot of damage. He should be getting knockoff here. Oh, you're dead. Goodbye. Get out of here. Goodbye. Let's see what item he was. He was choice banded, so I guess that correct. 2020 vision, y'all. 2020 vision. I know what's going on. So now the Rillaboom, like the good thing here is the Rillaboom's burned, so it can't really even do anything. Even like being super effective, like weak to grass moves, the Tyranitar ain't gonna be taking much damage from it anymore. So I can kind of like put the Rillaboom to the side and kind of just double up into whatever he has. It's not really much of a threat anymore. Like I can still go for damage, like a Heat Wave will still do a lot of damage to it, but now I can kind of just double target down the Lando here. Which he doesn't know that I'm Terra Flying. I think what I do here is I go for Terra Flying and then I just knock shit back. I could do double Terra Blast, but I'm just gonna Rock Slide here, I think. Actually, I could go in for knockoff. I'm gonna knock off again. I'm gonna Terra Flying and then I'm gonna go for knockoff on the Lando Eye to get rid of its probably Life Orb. And then I'm just gonna Heat Wave here. I don't think he has anything to kill the Moltres, and if he does, I think Lando Eye might get Power Gem. I know it gets Rock Slide, but you're not going to really be running Rock Slide on Lando, or at least like Lando Eye instead of Lando T. That burn was really clutch, so that burn really helped us here because we don't really have to worry about the Rillaboom much more. We can kind of just focus on whatever else he has, which makes this game a lot easier. He has Sludge Bomb that I live on 1. Wood Hammer. I am going to eat that. That's fine. It's good to know, too, now that the... I mean, it doesn't matter now because the Moltres is dead here to Sand, but... Get rid of the Lando, that's huge. The EXCADRILL is looking really good here. Yeah, this is why I also have the Smooth Rock, because at this point in the game, he does have Life Orb. I predicted again. That's 2 predictions in a row that I got correct. Like, I forgot what I was saying. But like, that's kind of why I have the Smooth Rock on here as well, because like at this point in the game, we're like already like 3-4 turns into the match. The Sand would almost end here, but I have 8 turns. So I don't, for like the entire rest of this match, I don't think this match is even going to go like 8 turns. I can kind of just use the Sand and not really have to worry about it going away here. I don't know what he has in the back. I don't know what he actually has in the back, but I can either go into Ogerpon here, which could be pretty good, or I can just go right into the EXCADRILL, which I think I'm going to do. I'm going to save the Ogerpon in the back because it has Sturdy. He actually has Flutter Mane, so that's great. If he's Terra Flutter Mane, I have a Sturdy in the back, so he can't one-shot me, and I can probably one-shot him back. He's not Speed Boost either, so I should just be able to straight up one-shot him. I don't know what he has to, like, actually go after me. I'm just going to knock off the Rillaboom here, and I'll just Iron Hit the Flutter. He's going to surrender. Why? He still saw a chance to win. I don't know. I mean, I guess technically there, I do outspeed him under Sand because he's not Booster, so the Rillaboom ain't going to be doing shit. It's not going to kill anything, and he doesn't even know my last mod, so not even bad, though. A really solid game number 1. I will admit, though, that clutch burn from the Moltres there with the Flame Body, that really did help us. The match would have been a lot more difficult if we did not get that burn, so that was really clutch. On to match number 2. Alright, we're here with another game. My opponent has Rain. He has the Pelipper, so that's going to be kind of a problem. Usually when the opponent has Rain, usually they're going to be either running Pelipper or Politoed. If that's the case, you're usually forced to bring the Rotom. So that's kind of what I'm going to do here. I'm going to lead Rotom. He also has Size Spam. He's running a really weird team. He has a Pelipper. I forgot that's not Bisharp. That's King Gambit. Indeedee, Malamar, Dragonite, which Dragonite with Terra Normal could actually be kind of a problem versus this team. I do have a lot of resist to it, but depends if he's banned and what his build is. And he has the Hydrapple, which could also be a problem under Trick Room. So He's running like half Trick Room, half Rain team, which is really weird. I gotta be kind of careful for that, so... I think at least the stuff that does set up Trick Room for him, though, like, I can kind of trick. I can pass a Choice Scarf to the Indeedee or the Malamar if I do see it, so... That's probably going to be my game plan. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to lead Flygon Rotom. It's a really solid lead here. And then I'm going to bring the Sand, because they have Weather, so I'm going to bring the Sand here. The Tyranitar matches up pretty good into his team, especially like the Terra Flying. And then I think I'll bring the Excadrill here. The Ogerpon ain't too bad either. But I don't know. I think the Excadrill could be a little bit better, especially with the speed. As long as I can prevent him from getting the speed boost and Trick Room. Or like having the Malamar set up, then that would be the main problem. We'll see how it goes. I think another thing with this team too, like if instead of Flygon, if I had Gladius on this team too, I wouldn't be able to have Discharge on the Rotom because I don't have one thing I'd be able to use alongside it for like Discharge spam. I'd only be able to like use it like every other turn and have to protect in between if I really wanted to do that. So that's one other thing, the reason why I have Flygon on this team, just so I'm able to use the Rotom and kind of spam Discharge with like a lead or like a combo of this for like a really solid lead, which is pretty common, which you're probably going to be using with this team as well. The Rotom Flygon lead is pretty good. Or like Flygon Moltres sometimes ain't too bad either. So he runs high. He actually has Hydra Apple. I'm just going to trick. I'm tricking the Malamar. I don't give a fuck. I'm tricking it. It's going to set up Trick Room on me, and I'm not going to play that game. And then I'm just going to Dragon Pulse. If he wants to set up Super Power, that's fine. I got Scorching Sands. I can try to burn him. Oh, he actually has he was Sash. Okay, that's good. See how much this actually does. That's a 2-hit KO. So he's running like a fully offensive Hydrapple. He's not even going to set up the Trick Room here. I'm hoping he goes after the Flygon because I'm Sash, so that should not matter. Oh, he actually has Leaf Storm. I'm dead. I live. I live because I took his Focus Sash. What the fuck? What a play. What a play. I just realized that. I mean, he's like, holy fuck, he stole my Sash. Now I don't get the boost. And now he's Choice Scarfed into that as well. He's Choice Scarf skill swap, so he's forced to switch out here. He is forced to switch. Like, what else does he have on his team? Like, that he would go into here? I think I can probably go for a burn, because if he has a Dragonite, that would be great having that burned. I think I'm just going to Willow. I can maybe Will-O-Wisp here on that slot and just kind of be in a good spot, depending on what he goes into. And then I just Dragon Pulse again. He might protect on this turn, though. He's going to withdraw. Show me Dragonite, please. Show me Dragon on Indeedee. That's not what I wanted to see. The Will-O-Wisp doesn't do anything for that. Any Psychic Seed. So that's no good. He protects. That's bad. I think the main problem here now is he's just going to be able to spam Follow Me. That's the main issue we're going to have. He's able to spam Follow Me while the Hydrapple just sets up freely. I wish I would have went for Hydro Pump there. I would have got a shit ton of damage on him. I mean, probably not that much because he had the Psychic Seed, but... I guess the chip damage ain't too bad. It could be worse. I made a play thinking he'd probably go into Kingambit or Dragonite because I think he should bring both of those versus me because they're pretty good. Especially the Kingambit ain't too bad versus me. Steel ain't too bad versus my team. I'm going to Discharge. Maybe I can get a Para on the Hydrapple. I'm going to try to Dragon Pulse, but he's going to follow me here. This is why I wish I would have had the Focus Sash, but like at the same time I wouldn't have had the Rotom if I didn't trick him on turn 1, so... Can I get a Para here? Can I get a full Para on the Hydrapple? It does nothing. Rayquaza. Okay, that's fine though. That's fine. So I'm still have 2 Mons that are both on 1. That's fine. That allows me to get another turn where I get double damage, which is good. EXCADRILL Tyranitar also looks really good here with these two mons. I'm able to outspeed the Indeedee and the Hydrapple because he doesn't have any Trick Room or anything up yet. And the Malamar in the back is not really a problem at all for the Tyranitar either. Especially if I have Terra flying, he can't really touch me. So it's looking pretty good. It just comes down to what his last mon is, because if he has the Pelipper and he changes my Sand and I'm not able to switch out, that's going to be the main problem that will cause me to lose. So I'm just going to discharge here again. And then I'll Dragon Pulse. I can't really do much else. He's going to protect, so now he's going to set up Trick Room. Now he's going to set up Trick Room. This might kill him though. You're dead. You're dead. I got a high roll there. Flygon wants to win the game. Finally gave me a high roll. This lead is really good too because you're just able to kind of spam. Like if your opponent has nothing to really shut down like your spam, you can just sit here and just do damage over and over and they can't really do much to you. And you also have a really solid chance of getting a para off the discharge. There's a lot of fast stuff too that right now if they get paralyzed, like they get shut down hardcore and you're able to deal with them a lot easier. The Scarf Malamar. I can actually probably Willow here actually. I'm going to Will-O-Wisp and then I'm just going to Dragon Pulse the Hydrapple. He doesn't have Trick Room up, so I don't know what he's going to do. And if he does set up Trick Room, like he's Scarfed, so like he's going to be resetting his Trick Room every 2 turns. Game's looking really good. We're doing really good. Making all the crazy plays. Willow, you're dead. You ain't doing shit unless you want to set up Trick Room for the Kingambit if he has that. He does have Trick Room, but like he's Scarfed, so you're going to be reversing it, and I can just protect. Or at least protect the Flygon. I can keep the Flygon around. I don't know about the Rotom. The Rotom I don't have Protect on, because it's a Scarf mod, so I didn't want to run Protect. He does have Kingambit, so that's pretty good. That's great for me, because I have Tyranitar EXCADRILL in the back, so that's no problem. Worst case scenario, he's Terra Flying. I think that's the only way he can maybe win, unless he has like some crazy shit. Because now he's forced to reset his Trick Room again, so... Yeah, I'm going to go for Willow here. I'm going to try to Will-O-Wisp him. And then I just protect Flygon. Slash. And he rage quits! He rage quits! This guy has Slash Kingambit and he rage quits. What a loser. What a loser. You can't even take the loss. The guy got absolutely destroyed by a Trick Rotom that I lived with his own Focus Sash, and he got destroyed by a Rotom Flygon combo. And he rage quitted. What a piece of shit. I guess Flygon and Rotom, they actually force rage quits, y'all. You learn something new every day. It's crazy. I never thought anybody would ever rage quit when there's a Flygon sitting on the field. Whatever, I'm taking that as a win. I'm still probably throw that into the video because we played really well there. Some crazy plays, like using his Focus Sash to live a Leaf Storm. That was crazy. That was a crazy play. Just happened to work out like that too. I didn't even predict him having that item. A lot of Malamars though, like a lot of them I've been seeing now, like they're all running like either Skill Swap and Trick Room with like a Sash, or they're running like full offensive like a Life Orb, so I don't know. Kind of weird. I'll see you guys in another game. Alright, we're here with another game. My opponent's using some broken shit, but I think we can maybe win if we play really well. He has the Urshifu Rapid Strike alongside Kyogre. Man, is that busted. The Whimsicott, Golden Go, Dusknoir, which is really random. Haven't seen that at all. Miraidon, and then Kyogre. So, I think what I need to do here... I have a really good matchup into the Miraidon. Like, I'm not really even worried about the Miraidon at all because the EXCADRILL just shuts that shit down real quick. If I want to win this game, which he's going to bring the Kyogre. I gotta find a way to check the Whimsicott, the Kyogre, and the Urshifu here, so... I'm gonna bring the Sand, but I'm not gonna lead with it here. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I actually bring the Rotom. The Rotom's a solid lead. I can trick the Whimsicott, and I can spam Discharge, which is pretty good. The Urshifu can't really do much versus me. I'll bring the Flygon here is a solid lead. I think I should just bring Sand again. I just bring the Tyranitar EXCADRILL in the back. I think I just bring the exact same 4 I brought last game, but hopefully this time my opponent does not Rage Quit. If he Rage Quits, we're going to be in for a bunch of issues, because that'd be the second game in a row that we have somebody that Rage Quits on us. And I usually don't like including those videos, or like those matches into the video for you guys, because they're usually a waste of time. I know you guys want to see the matches that go down to the end. So he leads with this. It's a really solid lead because like he can spam. I mean, I guess he can go for his electric move or whatever, but I don't know if that'll one-shot the Rotom. Nah, I'm just going to trick the Whimsicott here. I'm going to trick the Whimsicott, and then I'm going to go for Tailwind. Set up my own Tailwind. I have Focus Sash, so even if he wants to drop a Draco on me, he's going to be taking the minus special attack drop. He's actually Terra Ice. Does he have Terra Blast Ice on this thing for ground types? He got his own Tailwind up, okay. He does. He does. Little does he know I'm Sash, though. Wow, that would have knocked me into like 5 weeks ago. Holy shit. Probably did like 300%. That would have been like a 300% damage move, because it's like, it's a Miraidon, Terra Ice, and I'm 4 times weak to it. So I actually got a Focus Sash, which is pretty good. Now he's Choice Scarfed, so I think he can probably just lock himself into Moonblast here if he really wants to. I'm just going to start discharging, though. I'm going to discharge here, and then I'm actually going to protect the Flygon here, predicting Moonblast. Or like a double up into the Flygon. He's going to withdraw the Miraidon, so let me guess he has the Kyogre. Kyogre's coming in. Oh, he actually has Rashid. That's fine then. That's fine by me. He's going to double. He's going to show me his entire team. He's going to show me his entire team. He has the Kyogre too, so that's great. You're going to be taking a discharge, and you have a chance of getting paralyzed, bud. Please get a para. At least one para. One para here on something. It would help me so much. That does a solid amount of damage. I do get a para on the Shifu. That's huge. That's huge. That's what I needed. This is why I have Discharge on here as well, y'all. Discharge, a lot of people shit on it, but like with this team, Discharge comes in clutch. The high chance to para comes in clutch. I think it's actually base 80 too. Like it's weaker than Thunderbolt, but like having that, I think it's like a 30% chance to para is really, really good. So I have Sash here. He can't one-shot me at all. I think the biggest problem here is he's just going to start sit and spam Water Spout, but shouldn't do as much damage because he has some chip damage on him now. I think the Urshifu is forced to go for Aqua Jet on this turn to try to kill the Flygon. So I'm just going to spam Discharge here again. And if I somehow do live, I'm going to try to go for Scorching Sands and maybe get a burn. Oh, he has Sucker Punch. That's banded damage. Actually, that's the wrong Urshifu. That's the wrong Urshifu. That's the dark version. I thought that was the... I got a burn. Doesn't matter, but I got it. I'm dead. I live. I live. I thought that was Urshifu Rapid Strike, but I didn't even realize. I was too busy looking at the para that I got. That he never even got hit for super effective damage. So it's actually the dark version. I don't know what this guy is running. He's running Rain, but he's not running Urshifu Rapid Strike, which is really weird. I think the only shitty thing here is, like, I'm forced to go into Tyranitar to get rid of his Rain. But, like, I can't protect because he has Unseen Fists, so... I don't know. I'm kind of forced to Terra. And he has Terra Ice, too. I mean, not really... I'm not afraid of the Whimsicott at all, either. The only shitty thing here is if he has Manual Weather and he changes my weather, that's going to be the main problem. But then he's locked into a Scarf, so then he's forced to switch on the following turn. I think what I do here is I'm gonna discharge, but I'm gonna try to protect. He's paralyzed, so the Rotom should outspeed. So if he does not target down the Rotom with the Whimsicott, I should be able to kill the Urshifu since he's paralyzed. I'm gonna protect here. This could be a really bad play because he could just close combat and I could get one-shotted. Charm. He's Choice Scarf Charm, everybody. He gets fully paralyzed. Okay, that's great. That's huge. And get rid of the Urshifu here. That's great. It's gonna be a really close game because now he's just able to Charm spam me down. I think the Rotom goes down to sand here, actually. Oh, I live. I got 5. We lose our Tailwind, though. I think what this game's going to come down to, I don't even know if I can actually, like, Terra the Tyranitar, because, like, he's Terra Ice, which is probably the worst case scenario, because if I Terra the EXCADRILL, then I lose my Steel typing, so I'm no longer neutral to Ice. But then if I Terra the Tyranitar, like, I can Earthquake freely, but, like, then he's able to hit me with, like, double super effective moves, so... How many turns of terrain does he have left? He has 1 turn of terrain left, so that's great. I don't know, I'm gonna Hydro Pump here. I'm gonna try to get some damage. I'm gonna Hydro, and then I'm gonna Rock Slide. Oh, I forgot we're a Dark type. We're a Dark type. He actually targets down the Tyranitar. I'm eating that. We eating it. We eating that. I forgot he does not realize I'm a Dark type, so Prankster doesn't affect me. And I missed my Hydro Pump. That's cool. He gets some really solid damage off, though. He does. I just realized that. I didn't even realize. I was like, oh, well, he's just gonna sit and Charm spam me, but he can't do that because I never Terra it. I'm still Dark type. Wish I would have landed that Hydro Pump, because if I would have landed Hydro Pump, I think Miraidon would have died. I'll go into the EXCADRILL here, though. I think I can go to the EXCADRILL. I don't know if he actually can outspeed me here, but I think what I do here is I just Terra, and then I protect on this turn, and I can actually win the game. So I'm going to Terra Ground Earthquake on this turn. Even at -2 at this range, I think I kill. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to Iron Head. I'm not going to Terra on this turn. I'm going to Iron Head. Because I think Earthquake being a spread move at -2 might not kill the Miraidon from this range. So I think I'd rather just keep what I have. I don't know if I'm going to protect on this turn. I think I'll protect just because I can. I think he's going to target on the Tyranitar here. I think at -2 I should be able to still... He actually outspeeds me in the sand. Okay, I made a good play. I made a good play because he can't touch me that much. At -2, okay, I win the game pretty much. And the crit. I don't think the crit mattered. And if he somehow did live, I think the Sandstorm damage would have took him out anyways. So I think that's game. I think he just surrenders here. There's no way he can win. He's locked into Charm. And he can't Charm the Tyranitar, so, and even then it's not an attacking move, so he loses. I expect him to surrender. He surrenders. What a match. What a game. Really confusing on why he does not have Urshifu Rapid Strike and he has the Dark one instead when he's running Rain. Kind of confused by that, but we played really well. This team is really good. Like, if you know how to play this team and if you can play this team really well and you know what it's capable of and, like, the bad stuff you don't really match into really well and, like, what tries to check you and how to play around it, you can do really, really well. That's the one thing with the team I think that I really like, so... I'll throw maybe 1, maybe 2 more games in this video. We'll see how it goes. I'll see you guys in probably 1 more game. Alright, we are here with one last game. My opponent has the Arcanine, Empoleon, was it? I think that's Sandy Shocks, which I haven't seen in forever. Appleton, Espathra, which I haven't seen in forever either, and Cleaver, so... I don't know, he's running like a really weird team. I don't know what he's trying to do. I know he has speed boost on the Espathra, which also gets, I think, skill swap, so That could be maybe kind of scary. We'll see how it goes. I think what I just do here is I just lead Flygon and I lead Rotom again. Flygon Rotom's a pretty solid lead here. Looking at his team, he might also have like Scarf Cleaver, which could be kind of a problem. I think I bring that. I don't even know if I bring Sand. Sand's really good here, though. I don't know if I can pass up the Sand. I think I just bring EXCADRILL Tyranitar again. I really wanted to bring the Ogerpon, I really do, but a lot of these games, I'm better off just bringing the Tyranitar and then the EXCADRILL alongside it instead of the Ogerpon. It just does a lot more with the ground Steel Stab than the grass Rock Stab in a lot of these games. I think at least out of this entire team, I think the one thing you're probably going to be using the least, funny enough, is either the Moltres, which is more team dependent depending on what you're going against, or like the Ogerpon. And especially the Ogerpon if you want to Terra. Like if you really want to Terra the Ogerpon, you kind of have to pass up either the Tyranitar or the EXCADRILL, which are usually just way better most of the time. But even then, like the Terra Rock on the Ogerpon is still really good because you get the defense boost and that type of thing. So it just comes down to whatever game you're playing and whatever you're going against and what you really want to try to do. So lead Cleaver, Sandy Shocks. That's kind of a problem. I'm just gonna go for Tailwind here. I have Trick, which I can do here. I don't know if both of these Mons I don't really want to Trick because I think the Cleaver already has a Scarf. And the Sandy Shocks, I don't know if I really want to Trick that thing either, but I think that's probably the best option. Gravity. So now Levitate doesn't work. That's no good. It's pretty bad. I think if I can choice Scarf from here, though, I could be... I don't know. I think he probably one-shots the Rotom without Levitate, though. And I don't have Protect, so like that's... I'm pretty sure I'm dead on this next turn. Stone Axe. I'm dead. I live. It's up to Stealth Rock. It's fine. The good thing is the Tyranitar and the EXCADRILL look really good here, and I'm assuming this Cleaver is probably Sash. But I got my Tailwind up now, so I don't know if with a Tailwind up, if I actually outspeed the Sandy Shocks with a Scarf. We're going to find out, but I'm going to Scorching Sand here, the Sandy Shocks. I need to get it out of here. I'm not really scared of the Cleaver at all. And then I'm going to Hydro Pump. If I somehow live, I'm going to Hydro Pump. He's going to switch out, okay? Something taking a... You're not going to want to eat this, bro. The chance to burn, too. It's a 2-hit KO. If I get a high roll, it is. I outspeed the Cleaver now, so he's not Scarf. He's not Sash either, so I don't know what he is. I don't know what his item was. Looking pretty good, though. We're looking pretty good. Worst case here, though, is the Sandy Shocks outspeeds the Rotom and just one-shots me. I think that's the worst case scenario. I'm not afraid of the Empoleon at all. That gets killed by the EXCADRILL on the next turn when I bring in the Sand if I want to. I don't know. It just depends what I really want to go after here. If I want to go after the Sandy Shocks or if I want to go after the Empoleon, I think I'll go after the Sandy Shocks. I think a Scorching Sand has probably a chance to one-shot, but we'll see how it goes. And I can maybe Discharge here. I'm going to Discharge. He's going to Terra. What Terra are you, bro? Terra Flying, probably. Oh, he's going to Terra this. Terra Water, that's fine by me. Terra Water's fine by me. Gets rid of the ground weakness, but at the range he's at, like, I think an Earthquake still kills him from that range. I don't one-shot him, that sucks. So he's choice Scarf Thunder, but he outspeeds the Rotom, but the Rotom has no speed investment, it's just fast because it has a Scarf, so... He actually has Roost, that's kind of bad. That's kind of bad, that's a bit of a problem. I think what I do here is, I'm on this turn, I'm going to go out into the... I have a few options as what I can do here, actually. I'm going to go into the Tyranitar on this turn, I think. I'm going to go into Tyranitar, and I can just Protect here. I should be able to get rid of the Sandy Shocks, because he can't Protect his Scarf now. I can get rid of that on this turn, then I can Terra Flying on the next turn if I really need to. to kind of just negate some damage from the Empoleon, because he's probably going to want to target me down. I think that's what I do here. I can just go for knockoff, and knockoff will do a shit ton of damage. Depends on his last mon too. If he has Arcanine, we should be in a good spot. I'm assuming he might have brought Arcanine, I'm not sure though. He's going to withdraw again. You're going to be eating a Scorching Sands. Flapple, you're not going to want to take this. I mean, I take that back. I forgot it's part grass type. Never mind. Was that Hydro Pump? Is that what he went for? I missed what he went for. So I lose the Tailwind here, which kind of sucks because I can't really... I want to attack the Flapple here. I probably could, actually. I probably outspeed. It just comes down to what I want to do right here, because I can attack the Flapple, but if I get the Tailwind up, then I can probably outspeed on the Tyranitar and get a knockoff on something. But I think getting rid of the Flapple here is the bigger play. I'm going to Terra Flying on this turn. I think he's going for Hydro Pump. I think that's what he wanted to go for. I'm going to Terra Flying, and then I'm just going to knock off. He kind of puts me in a shitty spot because then the Sandy Shocks can come in on the next turn to spam Thunder again. But at the same time, I should have the Excadrill, and if the Flygon still has its Sash intact, you can pretty easily deal with the Sandy Shocks, so... I think this should kill the Flapple. Flapple's stats are really bad. He actually lives. Grab Apple. That does a lot of damage for being resistant. That's banded. That has to be banded damage. It's so much damage. I outspeed the Empoleon. I get rid of the safety goggles. I didn't even notice that he wasn't taking damage. I prefer him actually going after the Flygon here because he brings me down to Sash. So the Tyranitar doesn't take as much damage either. I think the Tyranitar is more of a crucial mod to have on the field right now, so I'm glad the Tyranitar never went down here. Especially knowing that it outspeeds the Empoleon, so... I think what I do here is I just... He might actually have Sucker Punch. I'm assuming he's banded, though, with how much damage that actually did. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to Tailwind. I'm going to Tailwind prediction the Sucker Punch if he's not banded. And I should be able to outspeed both of them and get a Rock Slide off. I think that's my play here. He doesn't go for Sucker Punch, so could have went... Oh, it doesn't even kill the Empoleon. I got a low roll. Please get a flinch. I got a flinch. Okay, that's game. There's no way he wins. He dies to Sandstorm now as well. That's game. Either he locks himself into a ground move or an electric move, and he can't do both. This is why the Scarf Rotom is always so really good too. Like, it puts your enemy teammates or the enemy team in like such a bad situation, especially like late game. Like this. Like, he's forced to either go for an electric or a ground move here, and he can't go for both, and he does not even know my last mon. He probably thinks it's Excadrill, which would probably make the most sense, but he doesn't know. So, like, he's forced. I think he just surrenders. I think he surrenders here. There's no way he wins. He's gonna stay. He's gonna stay and take the L. At least he didn't rage quit like the guy earlier. Not even bad. I think the only drawback is I kind of wanted to showcase the Ogerpon, but a lot of these matches I didn't really have... It wasn't really in my best interest to bring the Ogerpon to a lot of these matches, but... When you guys are playing the team, I'm sure you guys will be able to play the Ogerpon. I just didn't really play it in this because a lot of these games didn't really pay bringing it to a lot of them. I think out of all the, like I said earlier, I think out of all the stuff on this team, the one thing you're probably going to be bringing the least is probably the Ogerpon. A lot of the other stuff on this team, like usually you're going to be bringing the Flygon, the Rotom, and the Sand Duo most of the time, and then once in a while you'll swap that around for like the Moltres and maybe the Ogerpon, depending on what the enemy team has, but that's kind of how it goes. So let's talk a little bit more about this team. As for this team, like I said earlier as well, I don't think this team is going to be like a top-tier threat type of team once Regulation F drops. We don't really even know the rules as of now either. A lot of people right now are building teams around like Iron Crown and like Iron Boulder and Gouging Fire and Roaring Bolt and Walking Wake and shit, and a lot of those Mons might not even be legal when Regulation F drops. So a lot of those teams might not even be in the format. So maybe if a lot of that stuff is not legal, this team could be a little bit better. Because I think a lot of that stuff, especially like size spam, this team kind of struggles with. It has a lot of options, like Tyranitar's pretty good into it and that type of thing, but size spam kind of wrecks this team, especially like fast, really fast size spam or like Trick Room size spam. But I think the main thing this team kind of struggles with is like your really fast Tailwind teams. This team is pretty fast. Like you have the Scarf Rotom, which is pretty speedy with the Scarf before you trick it, or if you decide to just use the Scarf and spam something over and over. But like the only other stuff on the team that's like incredibly fast is like the EXCADRILL Understand, which I think is the other like main fastest thing on this team. Apart from that, the only other thing that's kind of fast is like the Ogerpon at base 110. Apart from that team, is the rest of this team is kind of like your mid to lower tier speed ranges. So like your really fast, super fast like Tailwind teams, you kind of struggle with a little bit. Apart from like the EXCADRILL, that's one stuff like this kind of team that kind of struggles with. Another thing this team really struggled with is like a really hard Trick Room. If you can't shut down Trick Room setters with like Trick Rotom or like Taunt from the Ogerpon, or like just one-shotting or like doubling up into the Trick Room setter, which is really difficult to do because a lot of the common Trick Room setters right now are either Cresselia, either Porygon 2, or like there's a few other ones that are not really as bulky, but even then their typing's a lot better and you can't really do much, at least like typing wise, and they're able to still get it up anyways most of the time. So unless you're able to double up into the Trick Room setter or like taunt it or like trick a Scarf onto it and shut the Trick Room down that way, hard Trick Room teams really screw with this team as well, because you're kind of playing on the defensive the entire time. And what you really want to do with this team to like make it work really well is kind of being on the offensive most of the time and kind of just being the one that's kind of dictating the game, which I think is what the best kind of play style for this team. So if you're on the defensive with this team, you can be on the defensive a little bit. Like it has some tools to kind of stall out games if you really need to and kind of stall the match a little bit, but most of the time you just get willed down to the point where you either lose a crucial Mon or you end up losing something, or the match just goes too far and you end up kind of just losing at that point. So, but overall, really solid team. I really enjoyed making this team, really fun team. Let me know any feedback you guys have with the team as well, and let me know how you do. If you guys want to use this team as well, I know there's a lot of people that watch that have like YouTube and stuff, just link my channel in the description and give me some feedback for the team. It'll be completely fine. Go right ahead and use the team, or anybody else as well. I don't care, anybody use the team. The main thing I want is feedback, because I want to get better as a team builder. So that's just the main thing I want. I don't really give a shit about anything else. And I want people to use my team, especially with how much work I put into building the teams. So apart from that, hopefully you guys enjoyed. And at least as for our next teams for mine, like at least right now, my plans are either building a Trick Room team around like Porygon 2, or like a Rain team around like Raikou and Rain. At least that's my plans right now. I haven't really had time to make anything because I've just been busy trying to upload daily, and alongside work I haven't really had much time to do anything else. So I'm going to try to get some spare time going into the holidays to team build and try to put some more stuff together for you guys, at least for my teams. But I should have a bunch more stuff on the way, at least for like other people's rental teams and showcases. So I'm going to get out of here. Peace out, everybody. Thanks for watching.